In this one, we're going to have a look at string formatting, and we'll learn a couple of new functions which you can use for string formatting, as well as we'll learn about something called format verbs. So up until now, we've been using just Println, which is okay. It's done what it's needed to do. It's fairly basic. What it will do is it will take each argument or each value which is passed to it and then just print them out with a space in between. So just a reminder as to what that does. Let's just run this here. Go run main.go. So yeah, like I say, each one it just prints it out and then puts a space and then prints out the next value. And you can pass more values. So here, if we want to pass another value, we can say Gary, and then we'll see a space and then that. So as useful as it is for what we've done so far, it is quite basic and it is quite fixed in how it prints things out. It's always value space, value space. And sometimes you might want to have something a little bit more complex than that and have a little bit more control over how things are printed out and what is printed out. And so for that, we can use two other new functions. Let's have a look at what those are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this first one. In fact, we'll change both of them, but this one first, we're going to change it to printf. And so when you use printf, you also need a format verb for the actual variable which you are printing. In this case, that is going to be a string. So I say %s. And so what will happen here is that variable will get injected into this string here at that position there. Now, one thing you got to know about printf is it doesn't automatically add a new line like println did. So if we go and run this, as you can see, everything's all on one line. So what you need to do is actually add those yourself manually. And so I can do that using the \n. That will create a new line. And so it gets printed out like that. And so now I can actually inject this into a part of a string, because you'll see that after where we inject it using the format verb, we can add some more. So for example, if I want to say Alice Smith. And so as you can see, what's happened there, seen we have a format verb here, and then in the remaining arguments, it's seen that we have a variable and it's injected that string into the enclosing string. Okay, now for numbers, we need a different format verb. We need %d. So here, I'm going to do a similar thing. Printf. We'll say %d, and again, we will have a new line which we need to do manually. So we can print this out. And again, because we're injecting it in a string, it means we can add stuff which follows. So for example, here we can say years. So this should say age 35 years. And that's what we get. Now, the other alternative to this is something called Sprintf, which doesn't print it out in line. What it does is that function returns a value which you can later on use. So we'll use Sprintf to just get a formatted string or to format a string. Let's give this a go. So like I say, Sprintf returns the value and then you use it. So here, let's just say message equals format. And we'll say Sprintf, and we'll just start this again. So we'll print out both the name and the age in this string. So we're going to say my name is placeholder or format verb for the name, and I am, and then %d for the age, and then any number of variables, but obviously we need to match up with this. So we're going to need the name and we're going to need the age. So now we can just use good old Println in order to see this. So we'll just say Println message. So this line, or Sprintf, formats the message and returns it. And then we can just print it out as normal. Let's see what we get here. So my name is Alice and I'm 35 years old. So Sprintf is good for working with dynamic data where you can be using different names or different ages, or you might be working in a loop and doing different things with different values. And so by having something where you can just create like the placeholder string where you can inject values into that is very, very handy. Okay, now in the text lesson document, you'll see there that I've written some of the most common format verbs which you will use all the time. So we've looked at the top two, strings and %d, which is for integers, decimals. And then you have %f for float decimals, %v, and so this is for use for any type, so you might not know what type you're going to get. And so you'll see that used quite commonly. %uppercase T, that will actually print the type of the value. And then %+v, that's for structs with field names. And so you get this kind of thing here. So make sure you have a look at the text version of the lesson. There's always a little bit of extra info in there, which I don't always cover in the videos. But now let's have a challenge. So here is the challenge. Create variables for a product, and so the product will be notebook with the price of $9.99, so the variables will be name and price, and then use printf, so this is to print it out in line to print notebook costs 99. So we'll be injecting the variable name and also the variable price in order to get name and price. And then once you've done that, do it the other way using Sprintf. So there you create the long string using Sprintf, which returns that value, that message which you create, and then you can print that out using Println. So I'm pretty sure you can do this, very similar to what we've just done. Pause me now and give that a go. Okay, so first of all, we start with our variables. Name is notebook, price is $9.99. So this will be a float, and then use printf to print notebook costs $9.99. So we're going to say printf. So the first one will be a string, then the word costs, and then the price. And if you remember, we just looked at the chart and float was %f, and then we need our variables, name, price. Let's see what we get here. Notebook costs 99.0000%. So the % sign on the end is because we didn't have a new line, and that's just how it got printed out. Let's try it again. Okay, so you're probably looking at that and thinking, well, we don't want all these 000s. So there is something you can do about that, which I hadn't told you about, but hopefully you had a go at this and you witnessed that yourself. We can simply drop in using .2 how many decimal places we expect here. So %.2f. Let's see what we get now. Hopefully you should just see $9.99, and indeed we do. Okay, so the next one was to do the same thing using Sprintf. So just going to trash this a little here. We'll say message, and we'll change this to Sprintf. And then all we need to do is just Println this, Println message, and so it's doing the same thing except returning the value. Let's go and print this out. Notebook costs $9.99. Okay, how did you get on with that one? Hopefully you gave it a go. You probably wouldn't have naturally known to use the .2 here, and that's perfectly fine because all I'd showed you was how to use the %f. But if you gave it a go and you got similar results to what I did there, then very well done. Hope you enjoyed this one. Give the video a like, make sure you subscribed, and if you want the extra details like where you can find this lesson or where you can subscribe to the mail list for extra information on my Go content, all the info's in the description.